It's a classic case of how Dyson Sphere Program's complexity can sneak up on you. Remember these water pumps beside me? Yeah, me neither. Hello Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So we, at the end of the last episode, realized that there's a bit of a shortage in our production of plastic because we just don't have enough water coming in anymore. So we're going to fix that by building a bunch of new water pumps right away. I already have what I need to build one of them. Let's go grab a little bit more stone brick, and we will have enough for more. And then I also, because I got an interesting comment a few days ago that I would like to address, as soon as we've solved the water shortage, I want to take a look at the revisions we made to the energetic graphite situation in the last episodes and make sure that it is working optimally for our purposes. Because it might not be. You never know. Alright, so I'm just going to grab some stone brick directly off the line here. If I haven't said this before or haven't said it recently, what I'm doing here is I've selected a section on the line and I'm literally holding my mouse button down on just this circle on the conveyor belt. So I've selected the conveyor belt, it pops up this little thing here, and now I'm just holding this down and look at the bottom left. I'm just grabbing every single stone brick that goes by this belt that I've selected. So, if you're watching and you didn't know that that's a thing, that's a thing. I've done it several times, but I don't know that I've explicitly said, by the way, this is what I'm doing. So by the way, this is what I'm doing. Alright, so that's 6 more pumps right there, what I just queued up. Let's see what we can accomplish with that. Also, do I have additional liquid storage? I do. So why don't I go ahead and build that up a bit so that that situation is not as quick to repeat. Alright, and now we want to get some pumps set up. We don't have to be very far away. Quantum chips, excellent. So we will be choosing some more research momentarily. I said a few episodes back, and I've not been good at following up on this, but I want to do this more frequently in Dyson Sphere Program going forward, especially in future series where maybe I do stuff a little bit more quickly and have a little bit less to explain because I've grown more accustomed to the way this game is. I think what I would like to do is kind of begin episodes with a breakdown of like research choices and what research we're going to be working on that episode. I think that's a good approach to use. And I haven't experimented with it too much yet, but when I've done it, I feel like it's been pretty satisfying. So that is how we're going to roll. Let me get... These pumps are going to be a little bit less perfectly adjacent, which hurts me a little bit, but we'll deal with it. Actually, wait, I might be able to put one there. Let's see. Can we get away with it? I don't think so. I think there's not quite enough shoreline. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, we can do that. That's close enough for me. So now what we need to do is have a couple of... Well, I believe if I build a few more of these, I can do an even better job of this. Let's see. So we want to have this come in here. We want to have this come in here. And we want to have them both join there. So it's a little bit ridiculous. But it will be great to see it all come to life quickly and immediately solve our water situation. So I'm going to plug it up to the existing line. Okay, so at present, the way that I've got this set up, yeah, I see what I need to do here. Since the water storage is empty, I'm just going to delete it. We're just going to delete it. We're going to completely change things up here. So I do have an additional sorter. Splitter, rather. And now all of those are coming together. Now, what do we have here? We have sulfuric acid. That can probably hop across sooner, can't it? Yeah, there's an argument to be made for bringing this across a little sooner. Let's do that. I'm going to bring it right here. We're going to delete all of this. And this will, first of all, needs to come over one more space and then just come down there. Perfect. Same line, same function. Briefly hops over the energetic graphite there, but okay, now we have a little bit more space to do what we need to do. So this is our water line. So what I need is the storage to be a little bit farther down the line. That might work. I might have to do a little bit of moving here. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Got mixed up on my tabs there for a second. I don't know what happened. Hang on, let's see if I can get the auto arch thing to work for me here. Ah, almost. Almost. Not quite, though. So let's go ahead and plug up the water. There's that, and now we have... Obviously, we haven't plugged in the new pumps yet, so it's just the existing pumps working again. That's fine, though. I have a little bit of water in my inventory. Let's empty that out. And yes, we need to figure out the best way to get these lines connected now. Honestly, I think I see it already. Let's go ahead and just do a direct line like this. Not overthink it. And the water is flowing once again. It's not enough water because we need to power these, but we're about to. Alright, so... You know, one thing that I need to look at... Do I have... No, I don't have the satellite power stations researched yet, but that is something that we probably will be able to research this episode or next, I would guess. By the way, if you are watching this in the live audience, if you're one of the people... Well, I say live audience for those of you newer to the channel. What I tend to refer to in my recorded content as the live audience are the people who are watching the episodes every day as they come out. And then there's the backlog audience, which is more of the audience that is watching series from the past, and therefore they can watch the episodes sequentially because they're not having to wait. So it's kind of like watching a show as new episodes come out versus watching a show on Netflix or on DVD or on Blu-ray, whatever format you might have. Streaming is obviously the way to go for most people nowadays. I still have a bit of a digital, actual physical copy collection, but I'm a rare bird that way. Can't quite explain it. Anyway, I digress. If you're watching this in the live audience, we have 2 episodes today, because we didn't have an episode yesterday. With some of the technical stuff that I've been working on in the channel, unexpectedly, like over the last couple of weeks, I've made a ton of progress, and it's really, really positive, but some unexpected editing work took up my recording time for Dyson Sphere Program yesterday. So rather than like make myself do it when I was already super exhausted from... mentally exhausted anyway, at least from working out something really cool and new for editing, I just decided, you know what, let's do 2 episodes tomorrow. So I don't know quite what time I'm going to release the second one. It'll be sometime later today, but there will be 2 episodes today. Just FYI, in case you missed that. So now the water situation has completely resolved itself. Let's see how we're doing over here. Energetic graphite is still struggling a little bit. Let's see why. I mentioned that that was the next thing I was going to look at anyway, so why don't we head that direction and find out what's going on. It doesn't seem like it should be struggling, because I can see everything here. Did I perhaps... Oh my god. Oh my god. What's happening? Did I delete... I'm very confused. When did this happen? Oh, when I built the... Okay, yeah, I expanded the plastic, but I didn't expand this line. Sorry, it's been a few days since I recorded for this game, so I didn't notice things that I hadn't done for these new plastic producers. But now I see. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle. Alright, so that explains why we don't have energetic graphite. So, now, let's actually do what I said I was going to do. Notice these storages are backing up nicely, which is wonderful to see. Energetic graphite's been a bit of a problem for a while, and we will take a look at research in just a moment. But, again, a few days ago, I got a comment just kind of asking for an explanation on the changes that I made, mainly expanding the production of energetic graphite in this direction. And I sort of made some different decisions on the fly, and it's possible that I might have made a mistake. And so when I saw the comment, I knew that I had to record this episode, and it was before I made that decision to put it off yesterday. But I just told the commenter, you know what, I'll do you one better. Let me take a look at it in the episode and see if maybe there is a mistake. And if there's not a mistake, I can at least explain how it's working, and we'll all be happy. So let's take a look at it from the very beginning. We have our coal coming in and feeding the initial production of energetic graphite. This is what we've had here the entire time. And then it's outputting the products here, and it's outputting them onto a line that is coming in from the previous spot. Or from the new spot, rather, not from the previous spot. So the previous spot's energetic graphite producers are outputting onto a line that's coming from the new spot. That wasn't originally the plan. But as you can see, right now, there's actually no backup in the line. The coal is completely filling up the input line, which is great to see. So we have more than enough coal to supply this entire situation, and it's just cranking out the energetic graphite. So now the question is, well, where is the line going? And is there a problem with this situation? And could there be a problem in the future? So the reason we combine these lines is to ensure that every bit of energetic graphite we have goes underneath this proliferator painter. So now what's happening is, let's see, we have this storage. So all of these energetic graphites are eventually ending up in this particular splitter. And the splitter goes in two directions. It goes toward the diamond producers here, which are more than saturated enough. Diamond is fine at the moment. But also, it comes out the side here and goes into this secondary splitter, which then sends it in multiple directions. It goes this way to feed the production of supermagnetic rings. And it also goes this way to feed the production of energy matrices, which it's been doing for a while. And it looks really healthy at the moment. So the question that the commenter asked is a valid one, which is, well, what happens when you start to have backup, which is going to happen fairly soon. As soon as this storage fills up here, this line is going to start backing up, and these are going to stop producing the same way these have and these have. And that's where I'm going to be a little bit basic in my response at this point and just say that's a mechanic that I've used the entire time that I've been playing the series. I use it when I play Dyson Sphere in general. Yes, it will mean that part of the production will shut down, but as I've discussed in, I believe, some semi-recent episodes, if an additional need develops and the situation reverses, there are two things that will happen simultaneously. First of all, the buildings that have been offline because they don't have anywhere to put their resources will come back online, and then secondarily, and associated with that, they will dump all of their built-up products, up to 100 energetic graphite, onto the line immediately as soon as they can. So you'll just get flooded with a surplus if a situation develops where, a temporary surplus, but a surplus nonetheless, of, over and above your typical production rate, because you've got that built-up amount sitting in the production buildings, in these smelters. If a shortage develops that reverses that situation where the line backs up and stops some of them from producing. So I hope that answers your question, and I appreciate the question because it's an interesting one. So let's take a look at technology, shall we? First of all, let's look at upgrades, because I feel like I've been skimping on these a little bit. Yeah, let's look at universe exploration. This is the ability to view the vein reserves in planetary systems within 6 light years. I think this is an interesting choice because, again, we want to focus on things. We just restored our ability to build structure matrices. Some of these technologies that we are researching right now actually don't require structure matrices. They require the first 2 types of cube and then the 4th type of cube, skipping the 3rd, which is the structure. So if there are other technologies like that, I kind of want to queue those up right now, because those are the technologies that I can make progress on right now. Yeah, we definitely want to queue that up. Maybe not right now, given what I'm saying, but... those are the technologies I can make progress on without necessarily taking a chunk out of my structure matrix production. But it looks like we've pretty much exhausted our options there. Let's take a look at technologies and see if that's the case there as well. It probably is. Probably done just about all I can. Yep. But we're going to be able to warp quite soon. So the next thing I'm going to queue up, let's do a couple of things. I do want to queue up that universe exploration tech. And then I do want to go ahead and get some additional upgrades for Icarus queued up. So these are going to use structure matrices. Yeah. All right, so we have filled up our queue. Universe exploration. This gives us the ability to view the vein reserves in planetary systems within 6 light years. Mass construction, just a blueprint upgrade. That's one of the few, if it's probably the only research project we have remaining that just uses the first 2 cube types. And then a research speed upgrade, the very first research speed upgrade, which only uses information matrices. And then the mecha core upgrade, the mechanical frame upgrade, so speed. Mecha core is going to give us additional max core energy in megajoules, and then additional inventory capacity and additional logistics stack multiplier. Remember, that's a very useful newer mechanic that I'm still wrapping my head around. Energy circuit upgrade as well, so additional mecha fuel power from fuel that's inserted into the fuel chamber of Icarus, and then a ray transmission efficiency upgrade, which helps with the power that we are drawing from our Dyson Swarm, which is now producing 400 megawatts. Let's fly over there and take a look at it, shall we? It looks like it's coming along quite nicely, but we are on the dark side of the planet at the moment. Look at the bottom left of the screen. Look at how big... oh, wow. Oh, wow. Perfect angle. Look at that. Thumbnail material right there. Can you believe that view? That's better, though, when I zoom out and let the atmosphere clear up. Oh, I love that. That's the kind of moment that I've waited for a long time to share with this community, honestly. And I know that Dyson Sphere Program, because it's so different from a lot of the games that I've played in the past, the audience for this in the channel is not very big right now. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. It's something that I want to stick with because I know I can get better at it, and I feel like people will start to check it out over time. And I feel like also one of the things that's going to happen that's kind of channel specific and will be kind of cool is I think when an episode comes out that has something really cool in the thumbnail like that, or like the very first time we warp in this series, that's going to kind of catch people's attention because a lot of people, I think, seeing Dyson Sphere Program, they don't know what it's about, and they're not aware of what... they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they're missing. So I think we're going to get some additional people from the existing community coming in to check it out once we're at a point where we're exploring more star systems and seeing the black hole and seeing neutron stars. Remember, in addition to the clouds that were added in the last update, they also added some new effects for neutron stars, which I haven't even seen yet, but which a friend tells me are quite cool. So that's exciting. All right, it seems we are now backed up on plastic, which probably means we are... oh yeah, we are completely good on our organic crystal production. How are we doing on oil refining? Oil refining looks like it's solid. We're still emptying out in terms of some of our refiners, but see, what's happening now, I believe I talked about this in the last episode, but this is really good. What's happening now is, remember, this line was completely backed up because the fuel didn't have anywhere to go. The reason the fuel didn't have anywhere to go is that the buildings at the very end of this line here, the chemical plants, were not using it because they didn't have water for the recipes that they are programmed with. Once I added the water back, they were able to consume not only the water, but the fuel. And so this backup situation is slowly self-resolving. I don't know that it's resolving as quickly as I would like it to. Let's see if this belt is still reversed. It seems like this belt is still reversed. So I could flip the whole path again. And this will absolutely resolve it. In just a matter of seconds. Watch this. It won't even take that long. Because now a certain split, 50% actually. Not even 50 because there's a priority right now. So the excess is being sent into storage, and now that's completely emptied out. Perfect. So then the question becomes, if we flip it again, does a backup start? Or are the buildings at the end of this line now consuming the oil fast enough that I don't have to worry about it? Because, okay, a backup is starting. So here's what I'm going to do. There's an easy solution to this. And I've already started implementing it. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add a little bit more landfill here, so I can have another row of these thermal plants. Yeah, we are seeing a bit of a power situation, it seems like. Wow, holy crap. Yeah, because everything's working again. So this is actually timely. I hadn't noticed that. Why don't we go ahead and build a few more of these? I want to get you connected. Also, we have Deuteron fuel rods as well, and that's worth mentioning because that's something that can really help us with our power situation. I don't think we have the fuel rods yet, but we have the ability to produce them. So now that we've solved the energetic graphite issue, that seems like it's going to be a major priority. Because power-wise, we are really suffering at the moment. Well, not really suffering. It's like a 5 megawatt deficit, but it's more of a deficit than I want to have. So, which is to say, I want a 0 deficit. So let's take a look. We need the resources for thermal power plants. Nice. So we now have the ability to view the vein reserves of planetary systems within 6 light years. We will do that before the end of the episode. We need iron ingots. We need gears. The thing is, gears can be made using iron ingots. So by picking up iron ingots on their own, I'm in good shape. We also need magnetic coils, which I'll just grab a stack of those. And now we're going to make 8. What am I out of? I'm guessing I'm out of iron ingots. So I'll grab 2 stacks of those. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. Okay. So now let's fly back over here. Look at all that deuterium. Holy crap. Oh, what's going on here? We might have to start burning energetic graphite too, which we will certainly have to do once we are able to produce graphene without using energetic graphite. We definitely have to burn the additional resources then. But for now, let's work on burning the oil. And all the while that we're resolving these various resource issues, we are getting these research projects finished up. And this project we're working on now is actually going to help all of our research progress faster. And this is just the first technology in a long line of possibilities. Okay, so now that should help us consume oil a bit faster. Let's see just how much faster it does. It does help. Let's see. All right. There's one thing that's kind of making this a little difficult to follow. I'm gonna expand storage considerably. This is a temporary fix to the energetic graphite surplus. But again, I'd rather have a surplus with that than anything else, so I'll take it. So because all of these facilities are working again, we have a little bit more refined oil coming in, and this is still backing up. So what I'm going to have to do is go back over here and just build more power plants. And I'm trying kind of to balance. I'm just trying to watch it and get a sense for, okay, am I consuming all that I can here? Am I doing everything I can? Because as soon as I feel like the shortage is no longer an issue, then I can just take a step back and stop building these. This might be my favorite track in Dyson Sphere Program. It doesn't get old, ever. It's just this. How about that view? You don't even know, by the way, if you're watching this and you're not very familiar and you've just been enjoying the ride, whether you've just hopped in or you've been here since the beginning of the series, you just don't know. You just don't. So it does now look like it's beginning to empty out of its own accord, which is good, just with the new power facilities I've built. One of the things you have to watch for when you're correcting a power shortage is that, remember, your buildings slow down, which can cause some buildings to even stop functioning because there are not enough resources coming in. So as you fix a power shortage, the power demand can actually increase as well as the entire base comes back up to full capacity. So it can lie to you a little bit. Like, you'll see the demand and you go, oh, okay, that's the number I need to hit. No, you probably need to get a little higher than that. By the way, another thing that was pointed out in the comments, which I really appreciate the reminder of, because I knew this, but it's another one of those things that I haven't maybe paid close enough attention to as a detailed mechanic. So just to point this out, ray receivers, notice that percentage there, continuous receiving, and notice how the amount that's being produced, look up in the center there, that golden number, 7.93, notice how that is increasing proportionate to the continuous receiving percentage. When this ray receiver goes dark, I am no longer going to be receiving power to it. So when it hits the dark side of the planet, it's no longer going to be bringing in power. So having ray receivers on the equator is okay if you have enough of them. But at the same time, the ultimate way to use these is to come up to a spot where the sun never sets. And where they can receive power continuously. So I have 7 of these. I'm going to put 3 on each pole. And depending on the season, depending on where we are relative to Alpha Andromedae, the star, we will get, some of these might shut down. But the key thing is, if we have them on both poles, then... Oh, is the South Pole underwater? Oh. Well, kind of is. Okay, that's fairly easily solved. That's cool. Unexpected development. But if we have these on both poles, then ultimately I think it'll work out. So let's see. Oh yeah, we gotta do a little bit more here. Alright, that should be enough, maybe? Oh, nope. Need a little bit more. Okay, that should do it. Now, it actually seems like both are active at the moment, and I think the way I'm setting these up will be kind of ideal, because having them slightly offset, any angle changes based on the season, based on, the planet's just current position in general, should be less of an issue. Alright, so closest building. I think what I'll do is just go this way. Because we don't have the advantage of all those EM rail ejectors here. I'm getting a little bit of soil pile just for doing this, which is nice. Alright, so the spacing is not perfect, but I'm not going to sweat it too much. Again, we're closing in on a building that will be able to spread power over much greater distances, and we won't have to build as many of these, and it's much more satisfying to see them in place. So not much longer that we'll have to worry about building so many towers to connect things. Not that this is a huge, downer or anything, but it's a major upgrade. You will know it when you see it. Oh, wow. And there we go again, hitting the 30-minute mark when I didn't even realize I'd been recording for 10 minutes. Okay. Dyson Sphere Program does it again. And since I need to get a second episode recording for today, I will go ahead. Let's head back. Let's see the power situation now. Yeah, you can see this continual climb. That's in part because we've hooked up these ray receivers properly. So their power draw, let's go up to the North Pole as we conclude the episode and actually see how much power they're drawing now that they've been sitting there while we were getting the South Pole ones installed. Yeah, so this is currently... This one right now is just sitting on 7.41 megawatts. So it's actually pretty similar to the one that we looked at on the equator, which was, I think that was right around noontime at that particular point on the planet, or maybe in the afternoon. So it's natural for the amount of time that's passed since we put these down for this to be the wattage output. But what you're seeing, I mean, look at this. You see this just continual climb? This number is just going up. It's going to hit 310 in a second. Yep. It'll hit 311 soon, because as these continuously receive, as this fills up all the way to 100%, as long as the sunlight doesn't fade, which it might, but again, the higher this percentage is, the more power these are going to bring in. So that will really help. Look at that. The entire ring of these is firing, and we haven't even got a full ring built because of that crude oil. Wow. Wow. This is working out well. So with that, I'll end this episode here. In the next one, we will continue to make progress on the research we queued up, and then maybe see about some Deuteron fuel rods, because I feel like that's overdue at this point. We have all the resources we need to build them, so let's get them built. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. Oh, that was a good stretch. Sorry. New episodes are coming out every day at noon U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.